Hang up and hang out. You're in this room with your friends so close, the ones who claim to know you most. You sit around with silent talks with no real laughs and no real thoughts. You hear because it's been too long, but when the picture's posted, the friendship's gone. Eyes scrolling through your precious phone, liking pictures of people you barely know. Double tap whose picture's better. You Pinterest captions to prove you're clever. Her aesthetic is wrong and her aesthetic is right, but when did we lose regard for human life? Hang up and hang out. See, when the likes are up, then so are we. Our self-esteem is like a tree. We're tossed around from left to right. We have no control how we'll feel tonight. Because you'll see a post and, well, you weren't invited. What the heck? I thought they liked me. So you scroll and search your camera roll to find a picture you know is old, post it like it's brand new. You have to show them you're cool too. But deep down inside, you're hurt and trying to find a way to just keep smiling. Hang up and hang out. See, through all this, you missed your chance. There was life around you, and you missed the dance. You took that picture for a memory, but tell me what you're remembering. From the sights and sounds in people's eyes, don't live your life just staring down. A picture might be worth 1,000 words, but don't let a picture define your worth, because life is more than likes and captions. Put your phone down and see what happens. I'm studying the effect that social media has on college students, how it affects their self-esteem, their identity, their relationships, and productivity. See, John 13 says, "A new command I give you, to love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." So you might be thinking, how does love and social media correlate? But it's when I walk around campus, when I go to coffee shops, when I go to dinners, I hear people talk about Instagram and their likes and their follows or their unfollows as if it defines their purpose and their worth and their value. And if I loved you and if I loved them, I wouldn't let this lie continue to stir up, continue to prevail so heavily in our culture because it's not true. According to research, 98% of college students use social media, which means 98% of college students deal with the battle of managing their self-esteem, of figuring out how do I belong. What do you do with social media? What do you do with Instagram? Abraham Maslow in 1943 came out with a research product that most of us probably know. It's called the hierarchy of needs. As you can see on the chart, in the PowerPoint, it starts off with food and water, the basic stuff that we need to live. It's just to get day by day is get food and water. Next, it goes up to safety and security. That we need to know when we go to bed at night that we're safe and that we're not going to get killed in the middle of the night. And then right above that, it says belonging. And then right above that, it says esteem, which is so interesting to me because out of the basic things that we just need to survive, the very next thing is belonging. We need to feel like we're accepted. We need to feel like we're loved and that people respect us and that they like us. And the reason why Instagram has such a strong hold on our culture is because as humans, this is what it's ingrained in our bodies, is this desire to feel like we belong, this desire ultimately to feel loved. In Johnson Wales University, they came out with a research study on social comparison theory and comparison in terms of social media. And the two things they talked about were upward and downward comparison. And what this is, the upward comparison is when you compare yourself to someone who you believe is better or worse than you. And downward comparison is when you compare yourself to someone who you believe is not as good as you. But the problem with upward comparison is that most people on social media are not portraying realistic and completely truthful depictions of their life. So users tend to compare themselves to superficial things and they get down on themselves and feel like they're not good enough or they're not doing enough or their friends aren't good enough, when in all reality they're comparing themselves to something that's artificial, something that's not even real. And generally the result of upward comparison has a negative effect on our self-esteem. According to Gordon College from ResearchGate, he says, moreover, prior research in offline contexts has shown that exposure to upward social comparison can increase negative effect and deflate self-use. And with this, it's the reason why it's so dangerous is that it leads to discontentment in life. If you feel like what I have isn't enough, and what puts us into this depressive state where like I don't have enough, I'm missing, something's wrong with me. Why is my life not like that? Why don't I have all these friends and all these comments of people telling me I look good or that I'm really awesome, and it makes us discontent in our life. For my research project, I conducted a project where I took 4 students from San Diego Christian. I said to them, go on Instagram all the time, post every single day, post on your story, be obnoxious, and the only thing is that you can't tell anyone that you're part of this research project because that also defeat the purpose. And the other two participants, I said, delete social media, delete the app, don't go on it, don't look at it, don't do anything. And again, I asked them to journal it and to talk about what they're thinking. And for what I found, which was very interesting for my research, is that all four of the participants said, one, that they didn't realize how much social media played a part in their life, and how, one, addicted they were, and two, how they were reliant on people's acceptance of them. I just didn't realize how important it was to me. And second, they all four of them talked about the relationships in their life. Like, man, I didn't realize I was, one, ignoring people all this time because I was on social media, and two, not realizing that I was pushing people aside and I wasn't being present when I should be. And so some of the quotes from the people who didn't use social media, one of the participants said, I was able to use the time not on my phone to talk to the people around me and even make some new friends. The other one said, I think this activity may not have gone the way I pictured or planned, but it still helped me learn to be present in the moments around me. And from the people who posted every single day, they said, I feel like I'll be really nervous about posting every single day, thinking people will start to question what I'm doing and possibly unfollow me. I feel myself constantly thinking about what time I was going to post and what I was actually going to post. Also concerning how many likes I would get and how many people would choose to unfollow me after me posting so much. My emotional health, I feel, is getting slightly lower, but I feel myself starting to not care so much about what people think. And kind of the ending application, one of the participants said, I think that I have now realized how much social media influences our lives and how much we obsess about it. This was so interesting to me because I don't think that all people realize how much of an effect social media has on us. And so one big part of this is social comparison theory, and that's when we determine our own social personal worth based on how we stack up against others. And this is why social media can be so dangerous, because we put our personal worth and our value based on our social media profile, and we are never made to operate like that. We are never made to compare ourselves, because comparison is a thief of all joy. But yet every single day we collide with this desire to, one, belong and be accepted, but at the same time we're on a social media profile where we're constantly comparing ourselves, and we're never going to always stack up. We're never going to be the most liked person in our media profile, so we're always going to feel the sense of like, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough. And as I conducted my research study, the one thing that I guess I found that honestly really bummed me out is this whole time I was so passionate about this topic, and man, people need to know, people need to realize how much social media affects them, and in it I realized how affected I was. When I'd post pictures, I was like, wow, like I really care if I don't get a lot of likes, or wow, I really go on Instagram a lot, or if I'm stressed or if I'm bored, I go on it all the time, or I'm with my family or friends and I go on social media. So I guess in the thing I realized that I'm just as guilty as everyone else around me. And I guess as I conclude this, if we ever want to see a stop to social media, we have to be the ones to do it first. We have to lead by example. We have to hang up and hang out.